Hey everyone, so in this video I'm going to be showing you two trades, two scalps, whereby I'll be scalping momentum, looking to be very reactive on the tape. First stock will be Kodak. This will come a day after the stock topped out at 60, and what we see off the open is some resistance being met at around 44. The day before we had a lower high around 45, and in the pre-market on the day we had some resistance around 44.80s up to 45. So right off the open we're going to be looking to see if we can see resistance being met near those levels and within that area. That will be the first sign and check that we're looking for as confirmation, and then we're going to look for price to confirm that, looking for a big dip in a stuff, and that's one scenario that we've gone over to react very quickly. So if that happens, then I will do this. The second trade we'll be looking at is in KNDI. This is a stock that had a large push the day before. It had a squeeze after hours and in the pre-market on the day, and we're going to look to see whether it's FOMO and it's just people chasing and paying up the offer because they think this could be the next Kodak, or if the sellers are going to win this battle and if we're going to get a stuff and reality is going to set in, and in doing so people are left holding the bag at higher prices and they're going to look to sell and hit the bid and get out, and this may cause some panic on the downside. That is one if then for KND. Another one could be, well, we could trap shorts, reclaim VWAP base above a certain price and the 1 and 2 day VWAP and push higher and perhaps have a push to 25 or 30. So we prepare various if-then statements, and then if one of them play out, we look to be reactive. And so these are the two stocks we'll be watching, and let's see what happens. So in this tape recording, we're going to be going over some trades that I took and some scalps that I took in Kodak and in KNDI. We're going to see how I reacted to the tape, what I saw in order for me to get short and in order for me to cover my position. And it's two fantastic setups, very similar setups. And so without further ado, let's jump straight into it. At the bottom, we have Kodak currently coming into an area of resistance. This is the day after it topped out in 60s. And let's watch the tape. So we're seeing Kodak coming into 44, having some resistance. And it just failed at 44 and we could not hold above. We got a stuff pattern, tried to break over that area, so now I'm looking to short. So I immediately short, and my stop would be 44. So I'm short Kodak, we're now at 42, and I'm looking to add as we have confirmation of this engulfing move. Offers have stepped down, bids are getting hit. Now we're in 41.50s, excuse these stuck bid, 41.16s bid, 41 just broke below 41. And now we're coming into these pre-market levels, so I'm looking to cover. It's a very quick trade and you're scalping momentum.
If you want to learn 3 real-world setups that our traders use, including the simple setup that we teach all of our new traders and the setup that turned one of our traders into a 7-figure big money earner, check out the free webinar that we're currently running. Just go ahead and click the link that should be appearing right now at the top right-hand corner of your screen. That's going to open up this free registration page in the new window. So don't worry, you're not going to lose this video. You're going to learn more in a couple of hours from this trading workshop than from years of online education.
At 41, I'm looking to cover around 1/8 of my position. Just covered an 1/8. Now down to a quarter, coming into the 40s and coming into some potential areas of support in the low 40s. So immediately in just over a minute, we're up already around 3 points now, 3.5 points, breaking below 40. Covering more down to half my position now as we come into support. I'm watching volume, and I'm also looking to see if the bid holds at this area and we get some sort of buying in a reversal, which now looks like we are. I'm seeing 40s hold, dip below 40, 39, 78, 39.50s, and now down to a quarter of my position. If Get above 40, now I'm thinking, get above 40, hold above 40, I'm going to get out of my position, and I'm going to look to either short a bounce or move on. While watching that, I'm flicking through some other names in play just to keep tabs with the overall market and some other in-play low floats. 39.50s, still we're finding some support, the bids are stepping up. I'm still holding a quarter of my position. I just initiated a small short position in KNDI as well, as we had that breakout on volume and failed to hold above those levels. Covered a small amount of Kodak there, and now that we got above 40, look at that increase in volume. I'm going to look to get out very shortly, as that's a reversal. KNDI, I'm short size. We've now tried to break out, we failed, and now we're consolidating in the lower part of this range. Just got flat Kodak. KNDI is consolidating below 16, and on a break, I'll look to add for momentum. But I'm short about 3/4 of the size that I would like to have in KNDI. So I just want to add one more lot and play the momentum on that break, thinking that we do have the potential to go immediately into a downside halt. Kodak, that reclaim on 40, that increase in volume, that was the spot to exit. KNDI, we're just breaking below this wedge I added. I'm now full size for what I want to be. Down about $1 already, and I look to cover about 1/10 of my position. Now down about 1/8. Going into the down halt, I'm covering it. Oh, excuse me, I'm adding. I now doubled my size into that halt, looking for a gap down on resumption. Is my thinking right now. Still holding what I added. Double the size from the initial break lower. Had some problems in that downward halt, so I'm looking to take a little bit of size off, thinking this may reverse because we couldn't limit down. So I just took off about 1/8 or 1/9 of my total short position. Holding. Took off a little bit more into 1460. And now I'm back to my original size. So I locked in some profits, took off some risk. Let's see if this limit down sticks. Looks like it's going to. Offers are stacking up. I'm trying to short more on the offer. Often won't get filled. It's very tough because everyone's fighting for the exact same fill. Oh, and I just got filled. So I'm short just a bit bigger on my initial entry on this breakdown of this consolidation. Covered decent size into 15. Then I saw LRP appear on my bids lower down. That made me think that overall thesis could be right. Everyone thinking that Kodak could be the KNDI could be the next Kodak. All the FOMO longs that have entered this position are incorrect and looking for that limit down, and essentially everyone that's long is in the red and they're going to look to panic, get out. Everyone that wants to short it and perhaps isn't in with the size they want are going to look to just bang in. Kodak, I'm not doing anything with. That scalp right off the open was perfect. On that volume and quick reversal, that was the right move to get out and exit that short position. Great risk reward. Now on this bounce, it's 50-50 in my opinion. Does it fail? If it does, then I could short it once that lower high is in. If we break above 44s, this could easily squeeze back to 50 is my thinking now. So now let's move a little bit forward to KNDI resumption. Okay, so KNDI is about to open. It just opened. Still holding, looking to cover a little bit more into 14. And now already thinking that this has, so now broke 14, I just covered around a quarter of my position at 13.99. Looking to get out a little bit more, strong volume. And again, I'm scalping momentum. There's going to be plenty of opportunity throughout the day. So now I'm holding just under a half of what I went into that LRP with. I've locked in some good gains, and at this point, I'm just risking profits from those morning scalps. So break above 1550 would get me to think this has the potential to reverse. That would be my stop right now. Break below 14, no reason to sell. I'd look to hold what I have, cover on the next down move, and I'd look to get back in on the next pop. So I took a little bit of size off there, looking for a consolidation, and I'll add back size on a breakdown, looking to just scalp momentum. In and out, nail and bail type of trading. So you can see there's buying, whether it's actual buying for a bounce, whether it's short covering, who knows, but we can definitely see 1460s, there are issues. We want to see if it holds, we want to see if it lifts above 1480, and if it does, do we hold above 1480? So 14, bit of a quick stuff there, broke below, so I shorted a bit more, and I'm going to just really look to hold this against 15-ish. Yeah, so we're trying to bounce. On the offer, 1466, 1461 is my average price now. And now it looks like we tried to bounce, we failed, we're breaking down. So I'm short from 1461. Try to bounce, we couldn't, sell a step down. Buyers ran out of their energy and power. See the bids just completely failed. And now I'm covering a little bit. Covered 1/6 of my position there. Now looking for low 13s. All right, covered more. Next cover, I'll be down to half. Comes there, now I'm down to half my position. And I just added back at 1289 there, looking for the next LRP. So what I'm doing on the way down, on those extreme washes, I'm covering and I'm locking in profits and gains, taking risk off the trade. And when we get down to LRP, I'm looking for that supply to really hit the tape, as we so often see with these low floats that really just get hit hard. And so I wanted to see that stick. It didn't. Luckily, I'm still in from prices 1380 now. I've locked in profits. I'm just holding what I have, which is less right now than when we caught that initial down move and locked in those profits. Took off half into the LRP, added back about a third or a quarter. And so we're about 70 cents in the money. And I'm looking for a move into the 12s, mid 12s, or into LRP. And the stock hasn't given us a bounce yet. And so I'm not greedy. I'm going to look to cover on dips and add on pops. That way you guarantee yourself good risk reward. If the trade is to work, the best risk reward that you could possibly get. Okay, so now we're in LRP again. Didn't get that supply hitting. So I'm going to take a little bit off. Got down to half. So a third from what I initially held here. Covered, added into the LRP. Had a bounce, came back, covered where I added. And I just got flat. Got flat at around 13.13. Locked it in completely. So really that's scalping it from the initial breakdown through the hold, adding on this breakdown, covering, and locking in gains on the washes, adding on the pops. Tried on the LRP, that didn't work as well. But that is how you scalp momentum. And especially when you think about what everyone else was thinking in that trade in terms of psychology, in terms of this could be the next Kodak, the gap that it had the previous day, after hours to the pre-market. And really, if you take the news, is it fundamentally changing? No. The stock went up as much as it did because of the people that were trading it and the people that were buying it and the biases that were instilled in all of those people. And so once price action confirms the stock isn't going to do what Kodak did, that in fact there are more people chasing this out of FOMO than actually buying it and absorbing shares on the bid, and you see those offers step down and you pick up on all of those nuances, then you can look for these breakdowns to hit in with size, having a really well-defined risk. You can look to add into the first down hold, the LRP, because so often we've seen a stock open up 10, 15, 20% low. In this case, it didn't. So you're patient, you add on, you cover some on the resumption, take off risk, lock in profits, let price action talk to you. It tried to bounce, it couldn't. I was quick to take some risk off, get out, get back in. Once I saw that that bounce failed, shorted it, covered half on this down move, then looked to add into the LRP thinking now, people holding bag holders, people that are bought for bounce, they've truly lost this battle. This should have a huge supply and open up lower. Didn't happen. And so we held through it, we covered, and finally on this reversal, we got flat. So really we took the stock down from around 16 to 1280, 13-ish, initially risking just about 60 cents to $1. And now it's reversing, and so, from here you want to look to shorter pop. Kodak, nice consolidation as well. I'm looking into trading that as well on either a pop to add if we get a lower high or a breakdown to scalp momentum. I'm shorting this too. And basically what we want to see now is we want to see 40 break with an increase in volume. However, I think we can save this trade for next time.
Hey, go ahead and click our subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos that we're producing for you in the trading community. And please take the time to add your feedback in the comments section for what videos you'd like for us to produce next and what you found helpful from this video. From all of us at S&B, train and trade well.